Hey guys, welcome to the very first video of my new project called PowerBI Lessons. Today I'm excited to announce that every Thursday I'm gonna publish a new video about Power BI here on YouTube. In this first video, I'm gonna show you a step-by-step process for you to build your first dashboard from zero. I'm gonna present a method with 7 pillars, 7 steps, since connecting to the data until publishing the report and scheduling the automatic refresh. If you don't know me, my name is Leonardo Karpinski, I am from Brazil, and I teach Power BI since 2016. I have more than 20,000 students, and I decided to start recording videos in English so more people can learn Power BI and become a better professional. I already helped thousands of people change their career through Power BI, and I wanna help you as well, starting today. If you see my channel here on YouTube, you're going to notice that I have published a lot of content in Portuguese, and I hope to do the same in English as well. I also want to let you know about the free and online events I give from time to time. They are called Power BI Week, and I teach everything I know about Power BI in 1 week. During these events, we are gonna build dashboards, beautiful dashboards, outstanding dashboards like these ones I'm gonna show you now. Let's go. Okay, so this one is a dashboard, a financial dashboard that we built during the last Power BI week. Okay, so we have here the homepage with some values for payments, receipts, some values here as well for the income statement. And here there is a button where we click and we go to the first page. Okay, so everything here is very interactive, dynamic. We click here on a bar. All the other visuals are filtered. The same here. We can change the page through these buttons here. And this is the income statement or P&L statement, right? Everything here built on Power BI, using only Power BI. Of course, all the dashboard, all the background and everything I teach during these events as well. Okay, nice. Next one. During the same event, we built this one for logistics. On-time KPI, in-full KPI, and we track here the deliveries along the time. Next one is a dashboard for production, where we track the overall equipment effectiveness, a very important KPI for production. We built also during the last Power BI week. This one is a dashboard for sales. We have here the net sales, we have here the budget, and the comparison between budget and sales, along the products, along the time, along the dates, the year, month, so on. This one is a financial dashboard as well, and this will be the dashboard we are gonna build on November during the Power BI week in English, okay? We're going to build this to track the revenue, the gross sales, the gross margin, along the products, along the time, and so on. And also, we are going to build this cash flow statement, like this. And also a simulator, very nice simulator here to see what if we change the unit price, for example, for like 90%. Let's increase the unit price by 90%. What happens to our net income? There you go. But what if our expenses go up? So like this. Then our net income goes down. And you can play with these numbers to see what happens to your net income when you change the quantity sold, the unit price, the costs, and the expenses. Very nice. Everything here also built only using Power BI. Everything very dynamic, right? Another one here, another example for sales as well. I have here the sales amount, the sales quantity, the weight, also we track here the budget, and there is a simulator here as well for the budget. This one's very nice for human resources. We can click here on these buttons and we see a very detailed analysis about something. Like for example, here is the admissions. Another one, this is the dashboard we built during the complete course I gave in Portuguese for sales as well. And here we have very nice analysis as well, very advanced analysis with this scatter plot, everything very dynamic. We click there on the slicer, it filters like this, like there, okay? Also this one, where we built this during the Express course I have also in Portuguese. And here I want to show you this ranking. Look at this, very, very clean, very, very nice, very, very effective. With the ranking, with the photo of the people, with the salesperson, with the values, and also we have here a simulator as well for changing the unit price for the products, like this, what happens. A cross-sell analysis to see which product sells more with other products, and so on. Nice? These are some of the examples we built during the last events, during the past events. And now I want to build some of these dashboards in English for you. Let's change here for the dataset we are going to use today. Okay, there you go. Okay, so what we're gonna solve here on this video. Today I'm gonna show you how to make a dashboard for sales, okay? Using this database here that I took from Contoso database. It's a company, a fake company that Microsoft built in order to make some demonstrations like this one. I just removed some rows in order to stay with with less data, okay? So all this database here, all these tables that I'm gonna use, I'm gonna share with you in the links in the description below. Nice. So we have here the order date, the product that was sold, the customer that bought this product, the location of the customer, the order number, and the values here for unit cost, unit price, quantity, and discount amount, right? So when we use Excel like this spreadsheet here, we usually have flat tables. We usually have tables with very wide, with lots of columns. And we are gonna see that on Power BI, we tend to disconnect, we tend to separate this table into smaller tables. We're gonna see this on relationships, on modeling. But before importing this table on Power BI, I'm gonna show you what are the steps to develop a dashboard from 0 to the last step. Okay, let's go here. I call this the 7 pillars for mastering Power BI. So the 7 pillars for mastering Power BI. Everyone needs to know what are the 7 pillars for mastering Power BI, okay? The first one, what's the first thing that we do whenever you want to build a dashboard, a report, a dashboard? It's to extract. We have to extract the data from the source, okay? So I call this extraction. Okay, the second step is to transform. Whenever we connect to a data source, it's very common that this data source is not on the correct structure. So it's transformation. The third step is to model, the modeling phase, where we create relationships between tables. The fourth step is the calculation phase, where we build the metrics, the KPIs, calculation. Okay, the fifth is the visualization phase. The sixth is distribution. Whenever we finish a report on Power BI, we want to publish it and distribute this to other people, so other people can consume the dashboard, consume the report. And the last phase is to automate all of this, the automation phase. On this phase, we schedule the automatic refresh. So everything here we did here from 1 to 6 is automated. Okay, so these first 5 steps here, we do this on from 1 to 5. We use Power BI Desktop. This is our development environment. We build everything on Power BI Desktop. It's a software it's a free software where we can download for free, of course, and then use for building these reports. And from 6 to 7, we use Power BI Service. So we have 2 interfaces for Power BI. The software, which is the desktop version, and the service, which is the online version. Right? We're gonna focus here everything, but most of the time we are gonna spend here from 1 to 5. Let's go. Where do you download Power BI? You go to the web and you type Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop. You're gonna find the Microsoft link to download it. If you have Windows 10, you can you can go from here as well, okay? But you can also open the Microsoft Store, which is very nice because when you install from here, whenever you have an update for Power BI, which is every month, you get this update automatically. On the other side, if you download from the website and install it manually, then you have to every month download it again. So my recommendation is, if you can, install from the Microsoft Store. But I think if you go here, this is in Portuguese, my website, okay? But if you go here, make download, it opens the Microsoft Store because it knows I have the Windows 10 version here for my Windows. Right. After you install, you're gonna open the Power BI software. So this is the first window here. So I ask you first thing ever, update your Power BI. This is very new. This is from the October 2020 version. Okay, so you can see here on help, about, you can see what's your version. Mine is from October 2020. And this is the first window that shows up here. The first thing you have to do is to import data, right? You can try some sample data set here, but as I will share with you this data, we're gonna use on this case, you can download it and follow my steps here. First, watch all the video and then later you go step by step, okay? So you go here, import data from Excel, or you can go here on the Home tab, get data like this, or Excel directly. Let's go here first, okay? So I can show you all the data sources that Power BI allows you to connect. Here you have Excel, CSV, folder, SQL, Oracle database, and so on. SAP, a lot of different data sources you can use here. Ours is Excel. Double click and then you connect to the database file. Let me close this database here. Let's see here. So you have this window where you can see the tables inside this file and also all the sheets. When you click here on the table, you can see the preview here, right? So if you have a lot of sheets, a lot of tables, click on it so you can see the preview here. My recommendation is to, if you have the table inside the sheet, connect to the table. It's safer. So you click there and go here on transform data first. So remember our steps. The first one is extraction. This is the second one, transformation, okay? So before loading, always click on transform data just to be sure if you have to do any transformation before loading. Let's click here, transform data. It will open another window, which is the Power Query window, Power Query editor. It's our query editor here on Power BI. Everything you have to do for transforming, for reshaping the tables, you do here. Okay? This is your transformation window on Power BI. So the first thing we have to do here is to check if everything here regarding the type of the column or the structure of the table is okay, it's fine. And if it is fine, then we can load to Power BI. So the first thing I like to do here is to check the data types. For example, 1, 2, 3 is number, integer. ABC is text. And then you go there to the right, you see something weird here. Something wrong, like ABC 1, 2, 3. This is a general type, undefined type. So whenever you see this, whenever you see ABC 1, 2, 3, you choose the right type here, okay? You have to say to Power BI, is this a text like this or it is a number? Power BI doesn't know. So I go here and choose text. Okay? If I have to remove any columns, if I have to transform any columns, any table, anything here, I can do with these tabs here or with the right click here on the columns. This table itself is okay for now. I will import another one soon, and then we are gonna have to do some transformations on the new table. For now, let's choose here Home tab, close and apply. Right now, it is connecting to my data source, which is Excel, and importing the data, making a copy of the data here on Power BI. Okay, so after it finished, I can start building my visuals. Just drag and drop fields from here to the canvas. Or you can check here the fields you want to put on the canvas. For example, let's put here the quantity. Just click here. It builds a new visual. Okay, very, very easy. You can move you can move like you want. You can resize. You can change the type of the visual here. For example, let's put in a card like this. Very, very easy to build visuals when you have the tables well structured. Let's see, for example, let's click outside the visual like this and build a visual, an area chart visual. I click there, and then I have to choose which fields go to axis, legend, values, and these are optional, okay? For example, let's see if I want to build something like quantity over time. Quantity on values. So I can do this like this, drag and drop, or I can just check. Let's put order date on axis. There you go. Very, very easy as well. Then I have here the legend. What is this? Let's put, for example, continent on legend. Continent. So it breaks the line into 3 lines, one for each continent. I can choose another type of visuals, just clicking like this, or maybe like this one. Whenever I click on a bar or on a field like this, okay, on a bar, all the other visuals on the screen, on the canvas, are filtered, right? Let's go. Let's see here how we can make another visual. For example, this one I'm gonna revert. I'm gonna uncheck the legend, and I'm gonna put here again on the area chart. Okay, like this. Click outside the visual, click there on the bar chart. Let's put this bigger here, and let's see here if we can make a visual like brand. You can put brand inside the visual, or here, or just check. Let's put here inside the visual. And quantity, I'm gonna put here on values. So here you have the quantity sold by brand. In all of these visuals, you can format however you want. For example, if I want to put the numbers here, the labels, how can I do this? Click on the visual, go here. Every single visual has this format option, this format tab. You click here, and then you can edit the y-axis, the x-axis, the data colors, data labels, which is what I want. So let's turn it on. There you go. Okay. Oh, I want to make it bigger. So expand this and make it bigger on the text size. Like this. Very, very easy. Every single visual has this format option. I want to pass this format to this one. So you click on the visual, go to the Home tab, Format Painter, click there, and then click here. There you go. Okay. For the data colors, I'm gonna leave it for later because I like to use another option here on View, which is the theme. Okay. So let me save this so I don't lose it. So this is my first Power BI lesson. Okay. And then it starts to become more challenging here on Power BI whenever you have to combine tables from different places, or maybe different tables from the same place but with different information. For example, if I want to compare sales with the budget, how can I do this? Then you have to be concerned about the modeling. Okay, so let's go. I have another table here, which is the budget table. Let me open so you can see how it is. Just before this, just something very interesting here to show you is this one, this thing here. The size of the file. Power BI works with the compression of the columns, with compressing the columns. So that's why on Power BI we can work with millions of rows. Okay, this file here is the budget, okay? So we have a table with the product and the budget for every single month here, from 2017 to 2019. This table here is not on the proper format, the proper structure for the machine. We can read this easily. This is good for us to read. I can see the product here. I can filter the product, for example, product 6, and I can see on the columns what is the budget for each month for this product. Okay, but for the machine, but for comparing values from budget and sales, this is not okay. So let's import this and structure this table in the right manner, in the right structure. Okay, let's go there, and then another file, which is Excel. Budget. And here you choose the table or the sheet. Let's suppose I don't have the table. So I'm gonna import the sheet. Okay. Go to transform data. You cannot import like this because you won't be able to compare sales and budget the way it is. You have to transform first. You have to transform the budget table. So let's go. It will open the Power Query editor, and here we are gonna apply some steps. Let me rename this. I'm gonna rename this to budget. Okay. In this file, in this table, I have to remove this first 3 rows, right? They do nothing here. So for this, you can go here on remove rows, remove top rows, and put the number of rows, which is 3. 3. Okay, nice. Look at this first row now. What do you think this first row represents? It's the header, right? So I can go and say to Power BI to use this first row as header. And then there is a button here on the corner, and use first row as headers. Very nice. Okay, but what if I make a mistake? There is no Control Z. Control Z, where we can go back. There is no option for this on the keyboard. But there is this applied steps here, which is much better than going back with the keyboard. Because I can go here, and for example, if I made a mistake, just click on the X, or even go back to another step and see how it was before. Like this, you can go and see how it was before. It's similar to macro on Excel, but much better, much more powerful here, right? So let's see if I make if I made a mistake here, for example, on this step here. Actually, this step of change type is an automatic step. Power BI always try to help you detecting the types. So this one I did not make, but I can go here, delete, and for example, promoted headers, which I made with the mouse. I can go here and delete. It came back here to the first row. Let's go again and put use first row as headers. Right. Okay, so what do we have here on these columns? All the months from 2017 to 2019. And I have here also the totals. And why should I remove these totals here? Because on Power BI, whenever I have a value for something like budget, I have to put this on one single column, and then the sum of this column is the total. Okay? So these totals here, they are duplicating the values. If I keep these totals, it's like we are gonna duplicate the values for 2017, 2018, and 19 as well. So you go here with the control, you click there on the first one, go to the second one, which is total 2018 with the control, and click. And also with the control here on 2019. With the delete button or right click, remove columns, you're gonna add a new step here. Okay? Nice. But now I have another problem here, which is the values on the columns and not on a single column. So what's the correct structure here? Instead of having, I have here 24 plus 3, 24 months plus 3, 27 months, right? I have 27 months here. I shouldn't have 27 columns. I should have only 2 columns. One for the month and another one for the value. So here there's a very nice step that you can make, a very nice transformation that you can make here on Power Query, which is transform all these columns into rows. In English, it's called unpivot. Okay, so you go here and select since 2017 and January 2017 until the last month. All of this you want to transform into rows or unpivot. You go here with the right click, unpivot columns. Nice. Attribute and value. I can rename this to month, and value I can put like budget. Or I can keep value. Okay, it's okay for me because the table is budget. I can also filter the 0 values, the values that are null. Actually 0, but I can treat as null. So I can go here and remove 0. Okay? And then now the last step is to transform this into a date. You can put whenever you want inside the month. For example, the first day of the month. I think that if I go here and change to date, it works. Okay? It puts on the first day of the month. Perfect. Now I have a column with the date here, a column with the product and the value. I can then compare these values with the sales. So I will be able to compare sales and budget with this by these columns. Wait, not so simple, but I'm going to show you in a moment. So this was the transformation step, the second pillar here on this method. Okay, so we extracted from the Excel, we transformed, and now we are going to the modeling phase. Nice. So let's go here and close and apply. Now it's gonna import the data, the new table, which is the budget. Okay, there you go. Let's build another page just for educational purposes, and go here with the budget table and put here the value and also the value for the sales table, which I don't have. I don't have here the sales amount. I have only the unit price, unit cost, discount, and quantity. So I have to calculate this value. I have to create a measure here for the sales amount. And then Power BI has let's see here, the fourth step, the fourth pillar, which is the calculation. And for calculation, Power BI uses a language called DAX, Data Analysis Expressions. So first, let me show you these other 2 tabs here. This one is the data tab, the data of the tables. You can see here all the, let me just change the format here, which is in Portuguese, I don't like it. Okay, so you can see here all the tables which are there and the columns and the values inside these tables. Budget and sales. So you can click there and it's gonna change here. Let me change here also this format to the date format. Okay, nice. How can we create this calculation for the sales amount? It is unit price times quantity minus discount. There are 2 approaches here. We can create a calculated column like this one, right click, new column. And then we are gonna call this sales amount, very similar to Excel, right? And then we are gonna say it is quantity times unit price minus sales amount. Minus discount amount, sorry. Okay, enter. So this is the sales amount. We can put this like a number, for example, or like currency, the number of decimal places, 2, for example. There you go. Let me see here if it is correct. Yeah. Okay. But this is not the preferred approach, because every time you create a new column, the memory usage gets higher. It uses memory. Memory from your machine and your model will be bigger. So this is not good because it affects the performance of your model. So what we can do here is the following, is to create measures instead of calculated columns. So let me copy this expression here, and then instead of creating this column, I'm gonna go here on the sales table, right click, new measure, and I will call this sales amount measure, just to be clear, measure equals, when I paste, it doesn't work. Why? Because measures have different context. Measures have filter context. What's this? Whenever you create a measure, you have to summarize something. You have to summarize a column. It does not work on the row context. It doesn't know which row you have to use here on this calculation. So what we have to do here is to use a DAX function which summarizes this expression, which is the sum function. But the sum function accepts only one column. I cannot do a calculation like this one inside the sum function. In order to do this, I have to use another function, which is the sumX function. Okay, the sumX function asks for a table first. So I am on the sales table, and then the expression separated by comma. Okay, now it's gonna work. So what this expression does, it goes row by row on the sales table, do this expression here, calculate this expression, keeps on a virtual table, okay, no, on a virtual column, let's say, and then after iterating every single row on the sales table, it sums this column, and then this virtual column disappears. So this measure is going to be calculated on the fly. It does not keep any value on the memory, any value on the model. Let's see the difference. Press enter, okay. See, this sales amount measure does not appear here. It's not a column. It's just a calculation here, a measure. It has this icon here saying it is a measure, okay? And this one is the calculated column. When we go there on the report tab and then use this sales amount here, which is the calculated column, and the measure, the value is the same. Look, same value. But as I told you, I have to be aware of calculated columns, because they use memory, and then your model is gonna be slower. So let's delete this sales amount here, the calculated column, delete, and let's keep only the measure here. Of course, it doesn't make sense to keep this name here with measure. Sales amount only. Fine. Now I have the value that is coming from the budget table, and I have the sales amount, and I can compare these values like this. Okay, I can compare these two values, and I see that I did not reach the budget. Right. What if I want to compare by product? Then I have product here, I have product there, and here. Which product should I use? From here or from there? The answer is none of them. If you put product from here on the table, it's gonna, let me put here on like a table, okay? It's easier. You're gonna see that the sales amount is being filtered by the product, but the value that comes from the budget table is not being filtered. If I do the opposite, if I delete this product here and use the product from there, then sales amount is not filtered anymore. So none of these options are correct. So what should I do? I should use other tables for doing this, for filtering these two tables. So let's go here on the relationship mod, on the relationship tab, which is the model, and I can see the two tables, right? Okay. So what I should do here is the following, is to create another table called products. And on this table, I have all the single products. Each row is a single product. And then by this table, with this table, I can filter both sales and budget. So this is called a dimension table. And we are gonna have more videos about relationships, about modeling. So I will not go deeper here on this video on the definition of dimension and fact table, okay? But these are the two type of tables we have on business intelligence projects. Dimensions and fact tables. These are fact tables and these are dimensions. Okay, but what if I don't have this product dimension on my data source? You can build the product dimension on Power Query. So let's go here on transform data. And then I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna duplicate sales, and then I will call this product. Okay. On this table, this new table here, I'm gonna choose columns here, and then keep only the columns that are related to the product table. So deselect everything, uncheck everything, and then you choose ID product, brand, and that's it. This is for customer, this is not for product. These are the columns related to the product table. Let's click OK. Nice. There is one last step, which is the following. Whenever I have a dimension table, I must have a column that is unique. For example, the primary key of the product, in this case, is the ID product. I cannot have two rows like this, two rows with the same code, with the same ID. I cannot have. I have to remove the duplicates. This is a requirement for dimensions, right? So I go here with the right click and remove duplicates. Nice. Okay, I have another step there. And then what I can do on sales is the following. I can go here on sales and choose columns. Okay, so I went back to the sales table, and then I will keep here from the product table only and only the ID. This one and this one I remove. Why? Because whenever I want to know the brand of the product, I will go to the dimension table, which is the product table. Okay, let's click OK. I will do the same here on budget. I will not keep the product column here. I can go on choose columns and uncheck or delete the column. It's the same thing. Okay. Okay, after doing this, I can go there and close and apply. Now it's gonna apply all the steps and build my product table. Of course, all visuals that I use, the columns that I deleted, are gonna break. But okay, I don't want to keep this page 1. It was only for testing purposes. Delete. Page 2. Let's start from here. Let's go back there for the modeling tab. Look at this. It already created the relationships. This is a relationship that says the following. I have here a relationship that is called one to many. One product was sold many times. One product here appears a lot of times here on the budget table. But there, on the product table, it is unique. It shows only once. It appears only once. And this is a requirement, as I told you before, right? As I said, we are gonna have other lessons just for relationships, other lessons just for defining dimensions, defining facts, other lessons just for Power Query transformations, and so on. So this is just the start. Let's go. Okay, let's see now if I can compare sales and budget by product. Let's see. Let's go here and put value from budget, sales amount from sales, and let's put here from product the brand on axis. Look at that. I have here the sales amount and the budget amount for every single brand. If I want to go deeper and go to the product, I can put the product here, right below the brand. And then these buttons appeared for me. This is called drill down. I can drill down from brand to product. Let's see. If I click, for example, here on this icon, it goes to the product column, to the products one by one. Okay, I can go up and I can do the drill down by clicking on this icon here and choosing only one brand. For example, Contoso. When I click Contoso, all these products here are from the brand Contoso. Okay, and then let's go back and let's keep like this. Right. Move on. Another thing we must do, the last thing we have to do here for modeling purposes, is to create another table, which is a very important table called calendar table. The calendar table or the date table is a very important table, and we must always have this table. How can we build this? Even on Power Query or using DAX. Let's build this table this time using DAX here on the modeling table, on the modeling tab, sorry, and clicking new table. New table. I'm gonna call this, let's see, date table, okay? And I'm gonna use the calendar auto function. Just like this, enter. If you see here, there is another table, and on this table I have all the dates from 2017 until, let's sort descending, until 2019. The start of the year on the first year, and the end of the year of the last year. This is the date table or calendar table. And here I'm gonna create the relationships from this table to these two tables here. So it is a dimension table. How can we do this? Okay, let's go. Just click on the column and drop on the column here representing the date, which is the month. Remember, we are using the first day of the month. Drag and drop. Put your mouse here just to check if you released on the right column. The same goes here. Date with order date. Check. Yes. Yes, correct. Nice. We are done with the modeling phase now. So let's remember here, the modeling phase is a very critical phase and is something very different from Excel files, from Excel spreadsheets, because Power BI is a data model software. So you build data models on Power BI. And on Excel, you don't build data models. Only if you use Power Pivot, but Power Pivot on Excel is similar to Power BI. Okay, so that's it. And let's go to the visualization phase. Let me build another tab here so I can go and put the values on the canvas here. Let's see. I'm gonna use here a card, okay, for the sales amount, right there. Oh, but I want to use the currency format here. So you click on the measure, you go there on the formatting tab, currency, and let's say 2 decimal places. Okay, yes, yes or no? Yes, correct. Nice. Now let's put here the budget value. So I can go with the Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, copy and paste, put aside, and always try to use measures instead of columns on the visuals. Even on very simple calculations like the sum. For example, here, the value, whenever I put value on the screen, on the canvas, Power BI automatically calculates the sum of the value, the sum of this column. How can I know? How can I check? Here, you put here, you on this icon here, and you have the sum option, the average calculation, minimum, maximum, count, standard deviation, and so on. This is called implicit measure, and you must avoid this. There are some reasons for that. For now, just avoid. Okay, so you can go here with the right click on budget, new measure, and let's say budget, total budget. Total budget equals to sum. So this is a very simple, very common function we use on Excel here also. Sum is gonna sum the values of a column. So my column is value, budget value. Okay, enter. And now I'm gonna use here the currency format with 2 decimal places. And on this visual, I'm gonna change the value. Replace just by dragging and dropping here. Right, nice. Another measure we can create here is the sales versus budget. For example, the percentage for this value from this value. Let's go here with the right click, new measure, and let's say it is sales versus budget. It's a division from these 2 measures, right? So whenever you make a division, you want to make a division, use the function called divide. Divide numerator is the sales amount measure. Sales amount measure. I don't like to use the table name here. And the denominator is the budget, total budget, like this. Can you see it's like a purple color here? Whenever it's purple, because you are using a measure. You are referencing a measure that is already calculated. And as I told you, these measures do not consume memory from your machine. They are evaluated only when you use them. Okay, nice. This one, I'm gonna put here Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Let's put it here like this. It's a decimal number, so I go here and transform it to percentage. Nice, 1 decimal place only. Let's keep going. Now let's put the sales versus total budget here on a chart along the time, along the dates. I like to use this one, where I can combine columns and lines. For example, like this. Let's put it bigger. I'm gonna use date on the shared axis, total budget on the line values, and sales amount on column values. Like this. I didn't reach the budget in none of these years. Okay, let's see on the month or on the quarters. So I can go here with the drill down option like the last one here, and then it goes to the quarters, year and quarters. Another one, year, quarter, and month. That's bad. That's very bad. Okay, let's go up. Let's go up. Let's keep like this. And lastly, let's build another one here, like this stacked bar chart. Come down back there. Go here. Go there. Let's put here the brand on the axis, and also total budget and sales amount. But this doesn't make sense, right? Because I have to change for the visual for this one. This one. Yes, it's better. Always try to keep the same color on all the visuals, so you can make it easier for the user to read. Okay, for now, we can go here on View tab and change, for example, the theme. Let's choose this bloom. I like it. I like purple. Let's make it smaller here. Let's make it smaller there. Like this, like this, like this. Okay, let's just put everything here like this. Of course, it's not gonna be very, doesn't make sense here, this is blank spaces. This as well, I should put some visuals there, but it's okay, okay? That's not the focus of this lesson here, this very first lesson. Let's say I finished the dashboard. Let's say I finished the report. Let's publish it. Okay, let's first save it and let's publish it. When you publish, you must have a Power BI account. You can have a free account. You just have to have a domain, a corporate domain, in order to create this account. You can have the free account, no problem at all, but you have to create on the Power BI website. After creating, you can publish on a workspace. The first time you do this, it's gonna ask for your credentials. Then you type your email and your password, and then here you choose the destination, which is the workspace you want to keep this dashboard or this report. Let's choose here, for example, Power BI courses. Power BI courses. Let's publish it. It's going to publish to the web, to the cloud, to the service. So when it's finished, I'm gonna open the browser, and then on the Power BI website, let's click enter. So here I am on the browser, right? And here I have the workspaces, Power BI courses. Power BI courses. Here is the content. So here is the report that I just published. Everything here is in Portuguese because my browser is in Portuguese. Don't worry. Click there, and then I have this very same report on Power BI Desktop and now on Power BI Service. Everything works the same. I click on a bar, it filters the other visuals. Okay? From here, I can share with other people. And I have some different options to share, for sharing. For example, here, this is the share button. Okay? In English, in Portuguese, compartilhar. In English, share. Here I can share the report, or I can make it public, like this. The public version of this report is not safe. It's a public report. The URL is not safe, okay? It's open. So be aware that whenever you publish a report like this on the web, it's gonna make this report public. So be careful with that. In order to share in a safe way, you must have the Pro license. And the Pro license is $10 per user per month. I must have the Pro license in order to share, and the other people that will receive this dashboard, this report, also must have the Pro license. So when I click here, share report, I can put here the email addresses of these other people inside my company or outside my company. But everybody must have the Pro license. Usually the IT of your company buys the Pro license, okay? So here you type the email address, and these other people that will get this report can open them on their account here. This is called shared with me, compartilhado comigo, shared with me, right? So basically this is the fastest way to share a report, but it's not the only one. There are other options, like for example, sharing on SharePoint or on a website or portal. All these three options actually, these three options here, this one and these two here, they ask for Pro license. Only this one does not ask for product license, and it's the only free option for sharing. But be aware again that it's gonna take this report and publish the web in a public URL that can be found on Google. Nice. Let's go now. Oh, okay. Just to finish, this is the 6th step, the 6th pillar from our method. Let's go to the last one, automation. How can we configure the automatic refresh for this report? Let's say, for example, that our data, we extracted new data, okay? And then it has more values here, more rows, more sales. So let's, for example, fake this. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna replace here, down here, okay? So I have a new report here, a new database, new values, new rows for this report. And I want to configure the automatic refresh on the Power BI service, okay? Because when I share this with my colleagues, every time the database gets updated, I want the report to reflect this new data, to import this new data. So here on Power BI Online, Power BI Service, you go there on the workspace and then here on the dataset tab. You must configure the refresh on the dataset. It's not on the report. Report is here, the visuals, and here is the data. So you go here on the refresh tab, refresh button, and then you have to configure the gateway. What's this? Think about this. You have two environments. Let's say here is your local files, okay? Local files, and you have here your Excel. So you were developing on your machine. So you imported this to Power BI and you created a PBIX file, correct? PBIX, which is this one here. Oh, you can see, but I'm gonna show you. Just a moment. This one, okay, this one. Let me put here again. You have here the PBIX. When you published the report, this file, so here is your local environment, right? And here is the cloud or the Power BI service. When you publish this, it created two objects here on the Power BI service. The report and the dataset. In order to, and here is your Excel file. X, okay. In order to this dataset here, grab the data from here automatically, like this, and bypass the Power BI desktop, you must configure what is called a gateway. It's a bridge for security between the dataset on the Power BI cloud, Power BI service, and your local file, okay? You can download the gateway, you can ask your IT to download and install for you, but basically you can download it here, gateway, and you have two options, personal gateway and the standard gateway. For myself here, for my computer, I use the personal gateway. I already have it installed. It's using here, the personal gateway here, it's working, executing on my machine. And then I can just go here on the two files and edit credentials. Let's click OK. Let's click Enter. Here also let's click Enter. And then now I'm using this gateway that's running on my machine. It's a service running on my machine, on my Windows machine. And I just provided the credentials in order to the gateway. Go grab the files, grab the data from these two files and send to the cloud. So the gateway now has permission to grab the data and send to the cloud, just for these two files. Now I can go here on this is schedule refresh, okay, in English. I can put it on and I can add here 8 times in a day this automatic refresh. So you choose here the time, for example, 3 a.m. Let's say only 3 a.m. You can apply, and then every day at 3 a.m. it's gonna refresh your data here on the cloud. Let's force a refresh right now. Let's just remember our values here. Let me put here content. Let me just go here on the drill down option, and the last month I have here for now is March 2019. Okay, let's go there on the data set and refresh here. Refresh now. It's going to, yes, it worked. Okay, let's go back there and let's see if there is a new month there, if there are new values there. Let's see here. It's cached, okay? So you can press F5 or refresh here, or maybe here. Where? There, go there. Okay, and there you go. There is another month there, April. Nice. So every day at 3 a.m. it's gonna refresh the data. Of course, if you want to refresh your Power BI desktop, then you have to do it manually. You go there on the Power BI desktop and then go to refresh, because this is your development environment and the Power BI service is your visualization environment. So the main goal is to automatically refresh the Power BI service dataset and not the Power BI desktop. Nice, that's it. I think we are done. We covered all the 7 steps, of course, in a very short way, just to show you all the steps from extraction to automation. I hope you enjoyed this video, and next week we have another lesson. See you!